Hey, what's up, Worship Leader Hangout? Have you ever been in a situation where guys said go to the 2, go to the 5, go to the flat 7? If you were there and you did not know what to do, that meant you did not know your progressions, your scale degrees, or the Nashville number system, or simply your numbers. They're all called different names, but essentially they're the same thing. They're just simply progressions. And today we're going to go over some progression basics. Progression basics are going to be very useful because they're going to help with things like ear training. They're also going to help you develop a mental framework of the music that you're playing. All right? And so at the end of this video, we're also going to provide some exercises for you so that you can practice in different keys. So anyway, hopefully this video is helpful for you, and here it is. The first thing to understand progressions, you need to know your scale. So today we're going to use the C major scale as the place where we start, but really you need to know all 12 scales. And so the C major scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. All right? And so a major scale has 7 notes, and the first and the 8th note are repeated, all right? So it has 7 actual letter names. And each one of those notes is given a number, and so it corresponds to its position in the scale. So C is 1, D is 2, E is 3, F is 4, G is 5, A is 6, B is 7, and C, an octave higher than the first C, is 8. All right? Now this is very important, okay? Each one of those notes, or those scale positions, or scale degrees as they're called, they have a corresponding chord to it, okay? So C major C note has C major chord, D note has D minor, E has E minor, F has F major, G major, A minor, and B, the 7th, is diminished. Okay, and then we're back to 1 or 8. All right. Now we're let's no longer use letter names, but let's use numbers. Okay. The 1st, 4th, and 5th are major, and the 2nd, 3rd, 6th are minor, and the 7th is diminished. Okay? It is very important that you understand that. What we're going to do now is we're going to do some different actual chord progressions, and we're not going to use letter names. We're going to use numbers, so the number of its position in the scale. So now we're going to use a very simple progression. It's the 1-4-5 progression. All right, and let's go back to 1. Okay? And so I played the 1st chord, the 4th chord of the scale, and the 5th chord of the scale. All right? Another common progression is the 2-5-1 progression. Another common progression is the 6-2-5-1 progression. Another important progression is the 3-6-2-5-1 progression. All right? And finally, for this basic progression video, it's the 7-3-6-2-5-1 progression. Okay, so why is this useful? This is very important, okay? Progressions are useful because they help you to develop a structural framework of the music that you're playing. And so rather than think of the music in terms of, okay, I need to play a C major, I need to play an F major, I need to play a G major or a D minor, you think of the song in terms of the scale degrees, all right? And so, you then start to be able to hear the first chord, the fourth chord, the fifth chord, the second chord of the scale, okay? Because a lot of times, in terms of ear development, you don't really know what scale you're in. However, you can start to develop a mental framework of what the first chord of the scale sounds like, of what the fourth chord of the scale sounds like, of what the second chord of the scale sounds like, and so on. This helps also with music memorization, okay? So I've played at places where guys they either glued to the chord chart, or they're glued to the chord chart for 4 chords. They cannot memorize 4 chords, but that's because they do not have a structural framework for how to memorize a song. They have no framework as to how the song is formed. And so understanding chord progressions helped you to memorize music better. It also helps with changing keys. So let's say we're in the key of C, and all of a sudden somebody needs to play the song in the key of F. You don't have the chord chart, and you need a way to transfer the knowledge that you learned in C to F. Well, the best way to do that is to understand the chord progressions that you were using in the first place. So maybe the song was a 6-2-5-1 song, something like this in C. Now you need to play it in F. Well, if you understand the chord progression, do you understand it was a 6-2-5-1? Well, all you have to do is transfer that knowledge now to F major without thinking about what note do I play. So we know that the 6 is D in F major. So I'm going to play the F major scale for you, which is F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. And the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So the 6 was D, the 4 B flat, 1 was F, and the 5 was C. All right. Okay. Understanding chord structures allows you to change keys. Okay. So understanding chord structures helps with ear training. It allows you to change keys. It helps with music memorization, and it also helps you to develop a mental framework of the music that you're playing. All right. And so what I want you to do for an exercise is to take that same progression, all those progressions that we worked on, 1, 4, 5, 2, 5, 1, all the way to 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, and I want you to practice that in C, but then play it in D. So play your D major scale. And then we've learned that the first is major, the fourth is major, and the fifth is major. And the second is minor, the third is minor, and the sixth is minor. And then the seventh is diminished. All right? And then practice those progressions. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a chart in the information section of this video. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, great worship leaders are always learning. Thanks again.